Welcome to the Notary Educators with Kimmi Podcast. Hosts Kimmi and Jeff Nunnally, along with Alexis Franklin, share expert insights to help you launch and grow a successful mobile notary business no matter what state you are commissioned in. Learn how to become a top-notch loan signing agent and get answers to common notary questions. Explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training library, plus live weekly online coaching sessions with courses on general notary work, wedding efficient services, remote online notary, ink fingerprinting, apostille, translation services, and I-9 completion. Notary Educators, LLC is your one-stop shop for notary training. Tune in to the Notary Educators with Kimmi podcast and subscribe to the Notary Educators with Kimmi's YouTube channel also for more tips. Take your notary business to new heights.
Notary Educators with Kimmi. I'm your host. I am Kimmi, #1 notary educator slash your #1 notary mentor program, the owner operator. What's up? Notary Educators in the house. Hey guys. So anyway, welcome to Notary Educators. Those who will listen to the replay, those who will watch listen to the podcast and listen to the replay. What's up? Happy Friday. What's going on, people? So today I would take a few minutes and discuss how I come up with my apostille fees. That's what we're talking about today, because a lot of times people really question, how are you charging so much for apostilles? They just still cannot comprehend it. So we're going to give YouTube a few minutes to let people know that we are live. Let's see, can I get this camera to cooperate? I think that's cooperating. Yeah, let's see if that's going to work. So yeah, let's give YouTube a few minutes to let people know. And then we're going to talk about apostilles and the fees, okay? Again, I get a lot of questions about, do you really charge somebody $300, $400 for a service? And the answer is yes, you do. You do. And I'm going to show you how to charge this morning. When it comes to apostilles, I actually have a full apostille training, and it's also available in my mentorship program. And it's inclusive in the mentorship program at $47 per month, or you can own it for $77. But I'm going to actually do a deep dive really quick into how we're able to price those services. Let me cut that off. Let me cut that off. I'm sorry, guys. One second. Okay. Because I'm actually still working. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, so people say, well, how do you charge $300, $400, $1,000 for apostilles? So first of all, for those of you who may be brand new to this whole word, it's actually a French word, apostille, but the common way to say it in the States is apostille. A lot of times your clients will call you and say, hey, I need an apostille. I had one client ask me when they read my business cards, they said, are you an apostille? Like you can come and do mobile prayers? And I was like, no, but that's what they thought it was. So an apostille, though, is a document that needs a higher level of authentication prior to leaving the United States. Now, there's more than one way to process it. This video is not about processing. This video is strictly about how to charge, okay? How to charge. So you need to know what it is, though, so you can even understand why we charge so much. So again, this particular process, you may hear the term apostille facilitator or apostille agent. You'll hear different terms when it comes to the actual title that people call themselves, okay? So I'm wondering why YouTube isn't telling anyone that we're live, because it usually doesn't take this long. But I'm going to get into it, and then people can just catch it when they catch it, okay? Again, so that's what an apostille is. It's a seal that goes on top of the document. So notaries do not process the apostille, because you're going to call your Secretary of State. I'm going to tell you right now, do not call your Secretary of State and say, hey, can I be an apostille agent for you? I want to be able to do your apostilles. That's just not how it works, guys. You have to build out this part of the business just like anything else. Hey, welcome. You have to build out this part of the business. There's no one you're going to call and say, hey, send me a $800 job or a $500 job. That's just not how this works. So the pricing, when it comes to pricing your apostille, normally, of course, anything is going to be based on where you're located. We always start where you're located. In Georgia, if my typical page runs between 150, 175 for one document, any additional pages may be 50 to 75. Some companies charge as much as 100 for the second page. So if you see your first page is 150, second page is 100, you're already at $250 for two documents. Okay. Other additional fees you want to include when it comes to apostilles is going to be your processing of your envelopes. So typically you have to use FedEx or UPS or United States Postal Service, which I don't recommend. I have used them. I didn't have any problem, but my preferred method is either UPS or FedEx. You have to include the shipping cost. So typically each one of those envelopes are going to be like $25 to $30 per envelope. So you got to add that fee to your client's bill. Okay, you're not paying these fees, the client is paying them. So you have to include those fees. Is it being shipped FedEx? Is it being shipped UPS? Do they need it back next day? Do they need 2 days? So all of that goes into how much you're going to charge for your actual shipping packages. Okay, so they may say, well, I'm not in a hurry. So if they're not in a hurry, I typically would choose like a 2-day turnaround. I don't usually stretch it out too much further than that. If they need it really quick, then we'll do next day, and then I'll just put that fee to my client. Okay. Additional fees would be if they need you to have it translated. Sometimes these documents need to be translated before they can leave the United States. So I'm going to charge a translation fee. Then I have to charge my fee for processing the translation. If you don't know how to do translation services, I have a course for that, of course. Of course I have a course. But you need to know how to do it. That's why the easiest way to teach these things is via course, okay? There's no way I can tell you everything right here in a YouTube video. But the translation course is also included in my mentorship program where I teach you how to do translation services, right? And so sometimes your client's documents will need to be translated. So that's another fee. So they have to pay the translator. Then they also have to pay me for being the facilitator, the go-between, right? So that's a fee. Then depending on how many documents they have, each document, the translator charges a fee, and then I charge a fee to have it translated. And then I charge my apostille fee, processing fee on top of that. Then they may actually need to be notarized. Now, I typically don't include a notarization fee for my clients. I just include that, but you could include the notarization fee. Now, we also have to include a travel fee. Maybe they want me to come and pick up the document from their home or deliver it back to them once I have it apostilled. So that's another fee. So you see how these fees are just adding up? Then it may be an expedited fee. Do they need it tomorrow? Well, I can't do it tomorrow, but I can bring it to you the next day. Let's see. I'm at a house. Okay, they're not coming over here. Yeah, so that's the next one. So then you have to worry about, do they need me to bring the documents to them, right? So that's another fee. Hey guys, welcome. So all of these fees equal up. As you can see, we got $150 for the first page. We got $100 for the second page. Then we have the UPS envelopes, the FedEx envelopes. That could be $50 per each envelope. So now we're at $150, $250, $350, right? Then don't forget our additional little fees in there that we have to include for us processing it. So you may say, Kimmi, why would someone pay you all this money to do an apostille when they can go down to their secretary and say, oh, we forgot more fees, y'all. We forgot more. You also have to include the fee of the actual processing of the apostille. Once it gets to your Secretary of State level or wherever it's going, Washington, D.C. has a fee if you have to send a document to D.C. for processing. So you got all these fees. Hey, Lori W., what's up, girl? Yeah, so you have all these different fees that you have to add. So now I got to add another $25 per page, per document, not per page, when it goes to Washington, D.C. So if they have 4 documents, now there's another $100, right? 80, because it's $20. Then you have your money order processing fee. So do you see how these fees can add up with apostilles? So, and why would someone pay you all of this money to do an apostille? Again, that's the original question too, right? I'm telling you how much you can charge and how to charge what you need to charge. And you don't want to forget any of these fees, because if you do, you're going to cost yourself money. I have definitely underpriced a service or two in my day. And it's the worst feeling in the world when you have to go back to your client and say, hey, that's going to be another $100 because I underpriced such and such, and I'm not going to say eat that. Sometimes if I make a mistake on price and I'm like, you know what, that's just the cost of doing business. But I'm not going to eat a whole fee of a FedEx envelope because I mischarged it. I'm not. I'm going to go to that client and tell them, hey, Mr. Smith, unfortunately, that's going to be another $50. Hey, Monica Sunshine, what's up? What's up? Hola. Yeah, that's going to be another $50. So I'm not going to just eat and take a loss on that. The client is going to pay that. Okay. So I've given you a whole list of fees. So again, back to this other question I get a lot. Well, why would somebody even pay you to do that? So in the state of Georgia, to actually get the apostille on the document is only $3. So the cost to Georgia for them to do it is $3. Why am I charging all this money? Well, because you have the time, energy, expenses, and the expertise that your client is often lacking. They don't know how to do it. They're not interested in learning how to do it. They don't have time to do it. So then they'll pay me to do it, or they'll pay you to do it. Okay. So my apostille training covers everything you need to know to facilitate apostilles. And you can buy the course separately. It is on sale 60% off. Coupon code is WIN2025, WIN 2025 at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. Or you can get it as part of the mentorship program. Okay. The monthly mentorship. The apostille training is included in there. So I would highly recommend either or, actually, but I want you to know how to do translation services too, because a lot of these documents will need to be translated. They will have to be translated before they can leave the United States. Now, the translation piece is not up to you to decide, does the document need to be translated? Your client will tell you, hey, I need to get this translated. Or even your state that needs to have the document apostille will say, hey, this document has to be translated before it can be apostille. So there's a lot of variables when it comes to the translation piece, but I want you to know how to do it. Okay. And I've been talking a lot about no excuses in 2025. I mean that, guys. We're done with excuses. We really are. The world is changing so much. If you don't have an additional business to take care of your family these days, another way to make money, at one time we thought the government jobs, hey, I got me a nice government job, or government, what they say, government, a government job, and I'm good, right? I'm going to retire there. No, you go to work one day and bam, your job is gone. Your job is just gone. You've been there 20 years. You got 2 more years. And actually this happened in my husband's job before too. It happened in his job too. He was a lot of times he would go to work and he'd be like, what happened to such and such? And it's like they're gone. And he had another year left, another 2 years left, before they could actually retire. And companies are businesses. They run based on numbers. So once you're no longer needed, your salary is capped out, and they they can bring in a younger person for cheaper money, less money or whatever. What happens? So now's the time, 2025, again, I'm saying no more excuses. Let's run our own businesses. Let's learn to do it. It's easier to have somebody tell you, every day you have to go and do this project, or you have to go and do that. That's the easier way to live, right? It's easy that way, but it's harder to go ahead and grow your own stuff, to do your own business, to kill it, drag it, and make it work. You know what I'm saying? It's harder to do that. A lot of us don't want to eat off the farm. We rather go to the store and buy the meat. We ain't gonna kill a bull, chop it up, and do all that, process it. Right? We rather go to Publix and buy a pack of hamburger. But then you have the farmer who knows the value of fresh meat and growing it yourself, growing your own eggs. They take time and energy to develop it and grow it, to plant the seed, to watch it grow, water it, nurture it. That takes time. And I'll be quite frank, a lot of us don't want to do nothing that requires any energy nowadays. Everything is instant microwavable. Okay, so am I trying to convince you to start your own business? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, because I know how valuable it can be. Is it a lot of work? Heck, yes. Because I work 10 times harder doing this business. Okay, even my notary business. Notary Educators is my training business, but I have my own notary business, None Better Mobile Notary. It takes 10 times the work for me to run these two businesses as it did for me to work at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. I was there for 8 years. Do you know what I did at the hospital? Do you know? I've talked about it before. I walked around. My job was called Family Experience. And I walked around and I would say, hey, how are you? How's your visit going? My job was to make sure that people had a great experience at the hospital. Now, I love that job. It was a little bit more entailed than that, okay? But I love that job. Now I'm constantly on my grind. I'm on my hustle. I'm constantly learning new things. Oh, I hope that cat don't jump on my car. Oh, I would have a natural fit. I'm gonna have to get ready, y'all. Be on 100 with this cat. It's a cat out here. So, and my husband would not like that either. He is all over this. It's a bus sitting over there. He all over the bus. That's why I like cats. I don't. They just jump all over the place. I'm looking around. I'm out here in a kind of rural area. So anyway, all that being said, now's the time. That's why I keep saying 2025. No more excuses. I have a training program that is all inclusive. You have access to every single course we have, all the knowledge you need. You just have to apply it. You have to want it. You have to do it. Okay. I have people in my group right now. It's like, well, I'm not getting any signings. I'm like, but you're not doing what I tell you to do. You're not. And I know people that are working the program. I know who's working the program or who's not really working the program, or who wants to work the program, but for some reason they're hesitant. And I have to go back to, a lot of times it's not that we're not born entrepreneurs, and we're not. We're so used to somebody telling us what to do. Childhood, your parents telling you what to do. You get married, your mate telling you what to do. You go to work, your boss is telling you what to do. So it's just easier. It's free. They didn't take advantage of it because they were so used to everything being handed to them. It's like, you mean I can go out here and leave the master and go out here and do my own thing? That's a scary world. I don't know nothing about that. So it's easier for me to take what he gives me, what he tells me to do, right? Instead of trying to go against the grain and everything you've been taught all your life. A lot of people, if they were born in slavery, we can't even imagine what that time was like. But if you're born into a situation, if you've never seen anything different, it's hard to go against the grain. It just is. It's hard to do different things. Like, even some of my businesses, when I was going to start my daycare, all my friends were like, well, you don't have no children. Or I don't have no kids, if y'all ain't know that. Hey, Lori. I know, girl, I'm on the soapbox for some reason. Lori said, preach, Kimmi. Yeah, but for real, I don't have any children. But when I was going to start my daycare, this was 2001. I started a daycare and I didn't have any children. So I was a little nervous about it myself. I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, hey, so what, having another conversation. Y'all know I talk. I was talking to my friend. I was venting about my job in Atlanta because I was so sick of the traffic. And she just leaned over casually, and she wasn't a person of many words. And she was like, this particular day, God moved her to talk to me. And she says, hey, have you ever thought about a daycare? And I was like, nope. And she was like, not full-blown daycare, just aftercare. And this is for anybody listening. You might want to start this business. I don't know. And it was only aftercare. So I kept the kids from 6 to 8. I'm sorry. Oh my God. What am I talking about? That's how many kids I could have with 6 to 8. I kept the kids from 2 to 6:30 after school. Only after school. I didn't keep babies. So she was telling me the secret sauce, basically. I said, wait a minute. I'm going to just keep the kids and pick them up and that's it? And help with their homework? Okay. So I researched it. I told my husband about it. He was like, Jeff is always like, no first, right? And then he gets on board. He's always like, nah. I'm more like, let's do it. He's like, So anyway, he let me do it. So I started a daycare. We had it for 4 years. Very successful. It was called None Better Kids with a Z. KIDZ, None Better Kids. And it was very successful. So for my first year, I'm just getting started. I did my research. That was before Google was a big thing. I actually had to do that the old fashioned way. We had the computer, of course, but it wasn't like it is now. So I actually went to visit daycares and interview people and, did my research. And by the time September rolled around, when the kids started school that August, actually, I was able to go up to that school. I was like, hey, I'm Kimberly. I have a daycare. It's in home. I provide, at that time, I was providing a snack for them because our new daycares provided snacks, but I didn't know I can get money from the government for providing a snack. So I'm going to tell you this too. So all this is related if you hit the gems I'm dropping, okay? Doesn't have to be the word notary coming out of my mouth. If you're an entrepreneur and you're really listening to what I'm saying, you'll be catching these gems, okay? So when I had the daycare, I was giving my children a snack anyway. But my neighbor, who I helped her to get her daycare started, a lot of people were like, well, Kim, why are you helping her with her daycare? And she's the competition. She was literally across the street. So at the time, I could only have 6 to 8 kids, and I didn't even think she's the competition. I was just helping her because she wanted to start a business. Also, she saw I was being successful and she wanted to do it. So I helped her. Okay, so anyway, this is my point. I'm helping her start her business. So about maybe 6 months into her doing her business, she tells me, "Hey, you should talk to my guy that helps her with the government assistance from the food. When you have a daycare or something like that, they give you money from the state, okay, to help you pay for the lunches for the children or dinner." So I was already giving them a snack, but her person, I had my own person, my own representative. Her person was able to help me to go from getting $15 a month to $300 a month. Knowledge is power, people. Knowledge is power. So her person helped me, her representative that she was using helped her to get $300 a month. And she said, you should talk to my person because I get $300. And I said, well, how you get $300? I'm getting $15. This is another reason why I'm always like, don't be stingy. If you can see my hands, if you can see this video, if you're watching, don't be so tight-fisted with knowledge where you don't want to share information with people. I give away all the sauce here. And I can still tell you more because I'm not stingy. I have a lot of knowledge and I know what I'm doing. Okay? So I was not stingy with knowledge with her. She got her business going. It was successful. She was using another food program person. I called her person. He came and did a session with me. By the time we finished, your girl was getting $300 a month. Why? Because I went from giving them one little snack to also giving them a snack plus dinner. So now instead of just getting $15, I end up getting $300 too because I learned how to do the game. You got to learn how to play the game, guys. You got to learn. Everything is not, well, they don't want us to win. They want to keep the man down. It's not that they want to keep us down. It's like we ain't doing nothing. We're not. I tell you what to do. Other people tell you what to do and you don't do it. So we're not just a special people. I'm not no more special than you are. I may be naturally inclined to talk, right? You may not be, but you can learn it if you want to eat. You can learn to talk to your clients. Hey, I'm Sarah. I could be your mobile notary. What is a mobile notary? I'll come to you. So I take issue sometimes with, and I have to check myself sometimes because I can have that mentality. I'm like, oh man, why is this group of people always behind the 8 ball? Why is this? Well, sometimes it's because we just don't doggone do what we need to do. And that's just facts. It's just facts. I can tell you for sure. I tell people what to do. I really believe in teaching you and coaching you what to do. And then I'm hoping something kind of triggers you. You say, okay, I could do it too. Right. But then sometimes I just got to, as a mentor educator, I just got to be like, look, girl, go and do ABC. That's why I always tell my mentees and I tell people I coach and teach on the side from you, separate from YouTube. I'm like, behind the scenes, I'm a separate Kimmi because I want you to win. Okay. Here I might be like, oh, I'm really the same person. But over there, I'm like, look, homie, I done told you what to do. I want you to win. Okay. So all that being said, I'm going to tell you about the mentorship program. And I was saying a point to when I said all that, even about the daycare, is I don't let people stop me from doing stuff. When I wanted to go work at the hospital, I got one more really quick. When I wanted to go work at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, everybody was, I had a banking background. I worked at the bank for 20 years. Okay. 10 in Detroit, 10 in Atlanta. Okay, SunTrust Bank. Boom. Booyah. National Bank of Detroit, which is now Chase. I had a banking background, so anything with money, debits, credits, I got you. Customer service, I love it. Sales, I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Okay, because I love sales. I know if I know the benefit of the product, then that's what I'm selling. I'm not selling you just to sell. I'm not that person. Matter of fact, when I was at the bank, I had two stories. I already got a story. But when I was at the bank one time, I had stopped doing credit cards. Okay. I grew up on credit cards. I was a credit card queen. I would charge a pack of chewing gum. Okay. I would charge anything, everything. I grew up on debt. I didn't meet a credit card I did not like. Okay. That's why when people ask me about business credit for their notary business, I'm like, you don't need it. I don't have any business credit. I'm not going to tell you to get any business credit. I don't believe in business credit. Okay. Now, some people are going to disagree with me. I'm not your person when it comes to business credit because I don't do all that. I run my business with cash. I started my business with cash. I still run my business that way. In the sense that if I need to buy a computer, I'm going to save up my money. I'm going to go buy it. I'm not going to go get a credit card for $7,500, max it out, and I've not made any money. Okay. I don't do that. I'm not going to teach you that. Could I teach you how to do credit? Sure, I can. I got a banking background, but would that be good for you as a person? No. And I'm always going to do the best thing for you as your educator, as your mentor, as your notary friend. Okay. I'm not just here to sell stuff. I can do a business credit course and put $100 price tag on it and go woo, woo, woo. Everybody going to go crazy over it. Everybody going to buy it. I could do that. But I'm not going to because that's not how I want you to run your business. I want you to run it the nice, slow, old-fashioned way. And that's why sometimes I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not. Because I'm going to get you to the point where you're going to win, but it ain't going to be sexy. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be the old-fashioned, let's do this, step by step, step by step, step by step. We ain't going out and get $100,000 business credit to buy some ink pens and a stamp pad to do some papers. No. I'm sorry. I'm not your girl. I'm not. Now, that being the case, let's go back to the hospital really quick. So now I wanted to work at the hospital. Everybody was like, what you going to do at the hospital? You don't have no nursing background. You're not, anything medical. What you going to do? I said, well, it's something I could do. My sister is in medical. And she always had these, like 3-day work weeks. And I was like, I'm going to work 3 days. I'm sick of working 5 days. No, so I'm going to go work at the hospital. I'm going to work 2. I wanted to work 2. So I was able to work 2 days and have benefits. So what did I end up doing at the hospital? I did registration. I also did insurance verification. I did family experience. So I had several jobs at the hospital and I had no medical. Okay. So my point is, don't let nobody tell you what you cannot do. It's not for everybody to walk against the wind. Okay. The wind is coming this way. Most people want to go that way. Nah, bring that wind on, baby. I got you. Okay. And you have to be able to go against the grain. Everybody's going this way, but sometimes you need to be able to go against it. Okay. Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. The crowd is broke. Okay. The crowd is broke. So a lot of things that I've done in my life, a lot of my career choices, starting my notary business, everybody's like, you're going to be a notary. You're going to be a notary? You're going to be a notary. How you going to make money as a notary? Georgia said you can only charge $2. What you going to do? What you going to do? Not only did I become a notary, I helped my friends become a notary. I have at least 3 to 4 friends that I've helped to become notaries, to have successful businesses. My niece is Alexis, if you did not know, part of Notary Educators. She has her own successful business that all started with moi. Okay, she did the work. She grew her business. My nephew became a notary. Now, he's not doing anything with it, but he also knows that the opportunity is there if and when he chooses to. My husband is a notary. Okay, so from my one decision, look how many people's lives have been changed. Here with Notary Educators, how many lives have been changed? Okay, a lot of people aren't even in my mentor program. They've just watched my videos and learned stuff. If you read through the chats, I have people all day long. Hey, Kimmi, I watched some of your apostille videos. I was able to figure it out. Okay, great. I watched this and now I'm a notary. Thank you. You changed my life. Somebody in the mentor program, many people. I'm so glad God put you in my view, in my path when I started down the road of looking for a notary. You popped up in my feed. Oh, guys, that's amazing. And you don't know how that makes me feel. Welcome, everybody. That makes me feel so amazing that I'm actually touching lives. Okay, so each one teach one. That's why in mentorship, I have my students put their questions in the chat. Because as they're asking a question, somebody else got that same question. They may not need it right that minute, that day, but they're remembering it. It's going in there. It's motivating. When one person has a signing and they put, hey guys, I'm doing a loan mod today. Hey guys, I got an inspection today. Hey, I'm doing my apostille. Thank you, Miss Kimmi. Hey, I just got my wedding officiant. Hey, all that's encouraging. It's encouraging. Sometimes you got to be with like-minded people. And a lot of times we're afraid to invest in ourselves. And I know you hear that all the time. That's not just a buzz sentence. It's just not. Some of us invest in ourselves. Is different ways to invest in yourself. For me, investing in myself and my business looks like this. I'm a YouTuber myself. I got certain people I listen to. They be dropping gems about how to run a business, how to do AI. I have embraced all of it, okay? I've actually hired now I have 3 VAs, 3 virtual assistants. I was scared to death. It took me 2 years. I've been saying for the last 2 years, I need an assistant. I need an assistant. I need an assistant. And you actually have to kind of go overseas in order to hire them typically, because the ones in the States just cost so much, right? And I kept saying, I need a virtual assistant. I need a virtual assistant. In order for me to go next level, I got to get a virtual assistant. And I was terrified. And that stops a lot of you. Fear. Because I didn't know, are they going to cheat me? Are they going to really deliver? They're way over there. How do I know they really going to do the work? I mean, it was just a hot mess. I was a nervous wreck. And then finally, first of the year, last week of December, I think it's really the first of the year, I was like, hell or high water, I'm getting a virtual assistant. So I did my research. I did what I usually do when I'm looking for any product, any service. This is how your customers are finding you. Welcome, everybody. This is how your customers are finding you. They're going to Google. They're doing a 5-star search. Who's my 5-star notary out there? That's what they're looking for. So that's what I did, looking for a virtual assistant. Both cases. The 2 I have overseas. So I have 3. I told you I have 3. I have 2 overseas and I have 1 that is local. The one local, sometimes I need her because, quite frankly, sometimes me and the ones overseas, we can't communicate. Okay? She does beautiful work, but I've asked her to do a couple of projects. And by the time I finish explaining it to her, she don't know what to do. Okay? This is the same thing with notary. Okay? It's the difference between skilled and unskilled. You got some notaries out there, they got their commission, they running around. I'm a notary. Can't do a thing. Okay? You ask them to do an oath, they're like, what the heck is an oath? Okay? So you want to be skilled at whatever you do. So anyway, I have 3. So 2 overseas. Then I have 1 that's local. The one that's local here in my state, we speak the same language. She's done some research on my business. She knows what I need. So I'm able to call her and say, hey, ... And I have to pay her a little bit more. This is what I'm talking about, investing in yourself. Now, my other 2 are cheaper. And most of the time they get what I'm saying, right? And I'm able to use them. Hey, guys, welcome. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them. I hope I'm not missing any questions, am I? No. So I finally did that. And actually, when I did that, now I can see a growth in my business. So you have to spend money to make money. I know people say that. And my mother was big on that. She would always say that. My mother used to be like, if you want to live big, you got to spend big. Yesterday was the 3rd anniversary of my mama's death. And I had some moments yesterday. I wasn't crying, but, I was sad. But my mom and my dad, they put so much into me. I feel so filled up that they are always with me. So again, I wasn't like overly sad. Girl, if it wasn't for my parents, I'm going to tell you, I don't know where I would be. I really don't, but I'm the person that I am. I'm the business owner that I am because of my parents. They both were entrepreneurs before their time. They really were. My dad worked at Ford Motor, but when he would get laid off, and I got a few minutes, that's why I'm just chilling, y'all. I'm actually at an appointment, but this particular appointment had 5 cats, and I didn't want to go in because of the cats. I am highly allergic. That's why I told you there was one outside. So she told me she had 5. So she got 5 on the inside, and then I saw this one running around out here. So anyway, that's why I'm not in the appointment. So I said, well, you know what? Let me just go live because I was going to do this later. But I just said, let me go ahead and get it over with. I got the window down. The air is nice and crisp and cool, and just having a good morning out here with y'all. So anyway, so like I was saying, my dad worked at Ford Motor for 40 years. And during that time working at Ford Motor back in the day, he would get laid off. So when he got laid off, it was 4 of us. So my dad still had to feed us. So he ended up starting a carpet cleaning business. It became very successful. So during the summers and evenings, he would take all of us kids out there, and we would all go out and they would market that business, and it ended up growing. And this is all before Excel spreadsheets, which my mother didn't know none of that kind of stuff anyway, but she had her own little notepad, and she was writing stuff down and fill up one and get another one, fill up a notepad, get another one, old-fashioned ink and paper. And that business grew. It grew. So I grew up watching entrepreneurs. Now, we didn't have fancy titles for them at that time. They probably didn't even know they was business owners, you know. Then my mother also had property at one time when I was younger. She had a lot of property, and I didn't realize my mother was a boss. My mother was a boss. She was a boss before she even started doing that because she knew how to run her household. My mom didn't really work out the house a lot. Occasionally, she would help my dad out when he lost his job, getting laid off or something. Because they would still pay you when you got laid off, but it wasn't the same amount. You would be getting like unemployment, so your check was like reduced a lot. But my mother was a ride or die with my dad, and I saw how she ran her household. So I'm equally like that with my husband. Ride or die. Whatever that man needs, I got him, and he has me, you know. So and that's good too. We could work together. And I won't have it any other way. I'm gonna support Jeffrey no matter what. Even when we were dating, he didn't have like ideas. Like I said, his dad worked at Ford too, but I was like that girl that I want to drive. I want my own car. And my mother was like that in her early days. My mother was like, I'm gonna have my own everything. So my mom, she did. She had her own stuff. So I grew up like that. I was like, so when I got 16, 15, I started driving, got my first car, et cetera, et cetera. So when I first met my husband, though, he didn't have some of the same things in a material way that I did. He had a car, but I had a nice car. You know, he had a job, but I had a great job. You know, I worked at the bank. So I got that job when I was 18. That job was, and even before that in high school, I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield and what they call like a co-op program. So I've always kind of been against the grain where I want to succeed. I want to succeed. I don't even have a college degree, guys. Guess what? And it's not needed to be a notary. It's not needed to be a notary. It's not needed to be an apostille agent and make $800 per job to have a college degree. Is college overrated? I won't voice an opinion on that because I think some college is good. I think some people need college in order to get some structure. Certain fields will require a degree. But for most people, they're just constantly trying to get degree after degree after degree after degree and going nowhere. Let's do something with the degree you already have. Okay, let's finish something. Some people start down a path with college and they don't finish anything. It's like, okay, you got this degree, partial. You got a couple credits over here. You got a couple credits over there. Right? Let's finish something. Let's get anything. I don't care what it is. Even in the notary space, let's finish something. Let's get started. And do I talk about multiple streams and multiple avenues to make money? All day long. I have 15 different courses that will teach you. I do all of them except wedding officiant. But my wedding officiant course is thebomb.com. You know how I roll. But I don't do wedding officiant. That's the only thing I don't do. But everything else, I do it. And I don't do remote, but I have a nice remote course because it's just not legal in my state. When it does become legal, I will be the first person to sign up. Okay, enough about me. What questions do we have? Because I'm just kind of chatty catty today while I'm waiting. But it's so nice out here. That's why, another reason. Let me see. Can I get some of that sun out of here? Or is it better with the open? I kind of like the light. Anyway, what questions do you all have? Any questions? If not, I will start wrapping up. But again, think about the mentorship program. Think about the Apostille course. Apostille course. All the courses that I offer are on sale for 60% off. Coupon code is WIN2025. WIN2025. And again, no more excuses. No more. Let's do the darn thing. The money is there. It's enough space out here for all of us. I can't do every notary job. I can't do every apostille. I cannot, nor can you. Okay? So if we excel and we do good in our job, in our skill set, people will hire you. I always say Google works for me right now. I don't buy Google ads. Google's working for me. They're sending people to me because I've maximized my Google page. I've SEO'd it, search engine optimization. I ask for reviews. I put pictures. I put videos. I look like I love what I do. Google works for me. They tell people, hey, call None Better Notary. They tell people, hey, call Notary Educators. I'm working here on YouTube, but Google and YouTube are working for me. Why? Because I'm providing information. I'm providing value. In your business, provide value, provide customer service, love the people, love the people. People want to love the money, love the people, and the money will follow. I guarantee it. Now, that's one thing. I don't guarantee a lot. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I'll help you right quick because I'm gonna get ready to head out of here in about 4 minutes. But yeah, love the people, okay? Love your clients, love what you do, learn what you need to do. Okay? I'm trying to make sure ain't no cat jumping in here on me. But learn to love the people and everything else will come. Learn your craft. Be the best doggone notary you can be. If you're going to be a notary, be about it. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, be about it. Whatever you decide to do, it don't have to be notary. You might want to be a baker. Okay? You might want to clean carpet. Whatever you want to do, learn what the best materials are you need to be using for that craft. Learn what people need. Find out how you can serve the people. Serving people equal money. Questions equal money. I say that all the time. But serving people also equal money. If you serve your people and you serve them at a higher level, I give way more than $47 a month. Okay? I give way more than $47 a month. You pay $47 a month for my mentor program, you get way more than $47. Okay? That's just facts. So I sleep at night, and I always say that because I already know I've provided every one of my mentees, everybody that's in that program, whatever they needed for that day. Somebody bought a course yesterday. They was like, I can't access my course. You think I waited 2 hours later, 3 hours? No, not your girl. Immediately, I'm like, what can we do to get this person to be able to view their content? They were like, thank you for reaching out so fast. How dare I not? How dare I not? I had somebody that overpaid for a course yesterday. They actually overpaid. And they overpaid because they didn't see the coupon code. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to give them the money back. I don't. Because you bought it at that price, and that is the legitimate price. But customer service says, and the person that I am, of the moral fiber that I am, and the entrepreneur that I am, I'm thinking big term. Big time. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking, let me refund her the difference. She'll use it how she wants to. She might use it to buy another course. I don't know. Really, that's not my business. But I know I slept at night because I refunded her what she overpaid. Am I going to take a loss on that? Not really. Not really. You never lose when you do the right thing. Now, well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. But in the long run, you never lose when you do the right thing. It's so beautiful today. This appointment is taking a little bit longer than norm. But anyway, any questions before I head out? I see we got some new people that joined us. Anything you want to talk about? Today we talked about apostille. So again, I'll go ahead and wrap that up for you. When it comes to apostilles, I'm just going to do a nice little recap. Always charge for your envelopes, charge for your travel, charge for the translation, charge per page. Don't forget to charge the state fee. Okay, don't forget to charge your fee. So there are a lot of things that go into that fee when we say that total is going to be $300, Mr. Smith, $500, $600. There's a lot of variables, okay? So guys, I'm going to head out of here, but until next time, this is Notary Educators with Kimmi. I don't know if you recognize, I changed the YouTube channel. That was the first of the year. The first of the year, we had a lot of major channel changes. A lot of major changes for this year, and it's been amazing. It's been freaking amazing. There's no other way to say it. I'm so grateful, and I want to continue to help you all to grow in your business, because as you grow, I grow, we grow. Okay, on that note, I'm really out. Notary Educators, LLC.com for all things notary. I'm your girl, Kimmi. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for tuning in to the Notary Educators with Kimmi podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring as you build your notary business. Don't forget to explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training notary library for more resources to expand your skills and services. Stay connected with us on YouTube at Notary Educators with Kimmi for even more tips, tricks, and industry insights. Be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who want to succeed in the notary field. Until next time, keep growing and learning, and take your notary business to the next level. See you soon! Don't forget, for all things notary related, visit notaryeducatorsllc.com.